But people think that the digital product business is passive. It is not passive.
Coming up on the Melanin Money Show.
You get into business with anybody, ask yourself, do I want to own this outright altogether? Do I want to be a brand partner and be a face of this? Or do I just want to collaborate?
I want to get this passive, but I'm trying to get this passive back. I'm going to take this active money to the passive money. And that's cool.
Right.
The problem is,
y'all know I love the stock market. But even if it's dividends, it doesn't matter what it is. You have to own a decent amount before you can get to a place where it's like, oh, I can realistically see some checks that can start replacing my bills. People like think passive income is like the thing, or I'm gonna create a digital product and make money on it forever. That shit, it sounds good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Most people are trying to make money while they sleep, but they ain't even making money while they're awake.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Melanin Money Show. As you can see, we already on one today, so we're gonna have some fun. Carter, how you feeling? What you got going?
Oh man, I'm feeling good, man. We're in Atlanta again, in the same city. We've been having some crazy travel troubles lately.
Yes.
But we're here.
We're here
by the grace of God, and we got another amazing episode for the people. So, yeah. But like, let's talk about some current events first.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if y'all saw it or not, but our good brother Diddy, they have severed ties. At least that's what the news is reporting, with Diageo, which is the parent company that owns Ciroc and
De Leon
tequila, supposedly owned by a black man. So now I rock with Diddy. I love the movement, but it looks like they're having some challenges. He believes that they're not putting as much marketing effort. It's like Casamigos has come out of nowhere and has taken over.
I mean, Ciroc had his time, bro. Like when I was in college, like
Ciroc boys.
Like, yeah. Like I had, there were people in my school, for a fact, blowing their refund checks on like Ciroc bottles for house parties. Literally,
I had every flavor.
Yeah. I think Ciroc had his time. I think that. First of all, you could have told me that Diddy was not an owner. The way he was promoting Ciroc.
Yeah, and even now, more recently with De Leon, it's like he's literally saying owned by a black man.
Yeah. So the fact that he can get canceled and for like, he's been putting work in for Ciroc for 10 years, bro.
Yeah. But, and again, I don't know Diddy personally, and I'm not going to go too crazy on this podcast. Not yet. Keyword. Don't ever play yourself. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Keyword to stay tuned. But from what I can tell, or what people have said, is that sometimes in his business dealings, it can be a little like, like just not as ideal in terms of how things are handled. But that's all he say, she say, I don't know. But I also can give grace in the sense that he's a pioneer, right? So oftentimes, like, even we're dealing with it right now is growing pains of not even knowing how you're supposed to navigate stuff, right? So people think, oh, Diddy gave me this bad 360 deal contract. Diddy was probably doing what he was told to do, right? Or what he was learning to do. So I can give grace and understand that. But I do think it's interesting that they can even be in a situation where, as much as he's been promoting and advocating for this brand and this spirit, that they can just like sever ties with the partnership.
Yeah, man. And like, in my opinion, De Leon is awful. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's definitely on the lower end of the spectrum.
Yeah. The fact that he's willing to put his brand up to something like that, y'all should be thanking this man, okay? Because Ciroc compared to De Leon, Ciroc was the only reason I think black people even went to vodka.
That's a fact.
Black people, we were all vodka for a minute.
Right.
Ciroc came out peach, over with. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think, man, that's why I think ownership is so important. And again, not only the whole thing, but owning enough to have your say, because you don't want to own a full liquor company. You got the distribution, you got licensing, you got all this stuff. You want to stay in your zone of genius, but you want to become an owner where you have a say-so in this brand versus just them cutting off their partnership completely.
Yeah, so let's talk about the different levels that you can have, right? So number one is, of course, is complete ownership, right? You can own it, own the IP, own the product, own everything, right? And own all the responsibilities associated with it, right? So while that's a pro, we understand that it is a lot to deal with, right? Like people always want to be the man or woman, but at the same token, it's kind of like you get all the praise, but you get all the scrutiny as well, right? So obviously you have more control, you can dictate how things are going to go, but there's a lot that comes with full scale ownership, right? So what we are seeing emerging as something that's even more popular is like people who have great brands like Diddy, right? And they are partnering with companies and getting equity, right, within these deals. Hopefully they're getting equity. And that's more of a brand partnership, right? Where the brand knows that at the end of the day, we wouldn't be able to get as far and as wide with our reach without you. So we're willing to break bread with you and also offer some equity, right? The pro for the person like Diddy is that they don't have to figure out liquor rules and licenses across every state and figure out distribution and figure out all those logistics, but they get the ability to partner with the brand and bring a lot of things that they want to life without having to like do everything, right? Which is, I think, can be a sweet spot if your paperwork is tight.
Yeah.
And that's where I would want to be. There's a lot of stuff that I want to do that I don't want to own like the full scale distribution and everything that's required to do it.
Yep. You hear that, Don Julio? Sponsorship coming soon. I spent all this money on Don Julio. Come on, help your boy out. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's amazing because everybody stays in their zone of genius.
Right.
You stay in your zone of genius as a marketer. And then it really aligns when you actually like the product itself. Right. Which I think was the case with Ciroc. Diddy cannot tell me he likes Deleon. Okay. I'm just, look.
So just real quick, as a quick aside, here's my order, my rank of tequilas, right? That have celebrities associated with it. Believe it or not,
this is the best. You going to start off with the best?
Start off with the best, okay. Right? Ones that are tied to celebrity, not just tequila.
Got you. I know where you're going with this, and I fully agree.
Number one is Kevin Hart's tequila.
Shout out to Kevin Hart,
right? Man. That shit, he came out of nowhere. That joint is smooth. If y'all haven't had it, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I got one of the black bottles on ice. We got to hit a milestone before we open that one. Yeah. But yeah, that joint is smooth.
Yeah, I had the lower quality one, bro.
And it was fire.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's number one. Number two, I'm going with, well, is there a celebrity? I mean, it's talked about a lot. Is Casamigos tied to?
They tied to every rapper out.
Every rapper out. Would you put Casamigos ahead of Terramana? Or would you put Terramana?
Wait, so is Don Julio not in this conversation because it doesn't have a celebrity attached to it?
We're strictly talking about who.
Okay. We all know that Don Julio. Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah,
right, cool.
We'll have another conversation about Don Julio.
But yeah, so Kevin Hart's tequila. Do you know the name of it?
It is. If you wouldn't have asked me, I would have. It is. Gosh, it is. I want to know. So
okay.
Real quick.
So Kevin Hart's tequila. Then Terramana is definitely. It's $1 billion company already, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, the Rock's brand is just. It's
we can do a whole podcast just on that.
Yeah.
Gran Carmino. Okay.
Gran Carmino.
That's number one. So then we're going Terramana number two. Then Diddy. Well, if we're talking, we can't technically tie Casamigos to a celebrity.
Okay, but then
technically Deleon would be 3 because I don't know what they would do on LeBron's joint. Lobos, that joint is trash. It's under the trash can, bro. It is awful.
I've had it once, but I had it when I was already drunk, so I can't really tell.
Well, thank God, right? don't play this.
Bro, come on, man,
bro. So yeah, so technically, DeLeon, in my opinion, is just slightly above that one.
Okay,
so those are my celebrity affiliated tequila rankings.
All right. And I think this ties directly to today's episode because we're talking about passive income.
Facts.
And for these celebrities, these tequilas are actually passive income. They don't have to do most of them have to do any fulfillment.
Right.
They just put it in their videos or drink it, show it on their Instagram page, and they get checks from the brands for promoting it.
And if they're smart, they got decent equity associated with it. It's not just a check.
Yeah.
So before we get into that, really quickly, just so y'all can have context, right? There's full ownership. There's brand partnerships, right? And then there's just collaborations, right? Or in my opinion, brand partnership is like, it's long-term, right? There's probably some equity tied to it potentially. And it's probably a bigger check. And the foreseeable future, how long you're going to work with them. A collaboration is like, we're doing this one time. We might run it back. We might not, but that's a collaboration. So those are kind of the levels of how I look at it. So when you get into business with anybody, ask yourself, do I want to own this outright altogether? Do I want to be a brand partner and be a face of this, right? For the foreseeable future? Or do I just want to collaborate? Do I want to run a play? You know what I'm saying? One time, see how it goes. If it goes well, we run it back. If not, cool. We part ways. So that is what we want to talk about before we get into passive income.
Yeah, which is... it's one of the hottest topics out right now. Man. I want to get this passive back. I'm trying to get this passive back. I'm going to take this active money to the passive money. And that's cool.
Right.
The problem is,
go ahead and say it.
The problem is most people are trying to make money while they sleep, but they ain't even making money while they're awake.
Talk about it.
You know what I'm saying? So,
talk about it.
Like passive income cannot come before active income.
Big facts. Like you can't skip over that fact, right? And so it's like, let's take the stock market, for example. Y'all know I love the stock market, but even if it's dividends, it doesn't matter what it is. You have to own a decent amount before you can get to a place where it's like, I can realistically see some checks that can start replacing my bills, right? Like to put it in perspective, if you follow the 4% rule, you got to have $1 million invested to get 40. Right now, the problem is most people look at that and like, why would I take $1 million just to get 40,000? Well, you got to realize, you wouldn't want to work your ass off for 40,000, But to get a $40,000 and you, whether you wake up or not or go to work or not, it's a different 40, right? It's levels, right? So, but in order to get the ability to get that 40, you gotta work, right? You gotta have active income that's gonna give you enough surplus to be able to invest to create that passive stream.
Hey, aren't you tired of buying courses in those emotional states when you want to get a result, but then you actually don't do anything with the course? Do you know on average, the completion rate for a course is about 2%? But here's the thing, it's not entirely your fault. The problem is you buy the course, but you don't have access to the source who actually created it.
See, that's why we're doing something different. With the Melanin Millionaire Club, you're not just gonna get access to courses, you'll get access to the people who created it so you can get your questions answered. Because it's not just about learning, it's about taking that information so you can start earning. So the Melanin Millionaire Club is gonna give you access to courses, but not just that, it's an entire university of information. We have financial flicks, we have hundreds of previous recordings, but more than that, y'all, we have an amazing community of people just like you who are trying to become a first generation millionaire. So like GA said, like you can survive without community, but you can't thrive without community. So this is the place you need to be, right?
100%, because here's the thing. If it was just about information, we'd all be billionaires with six packs. So that's why every single Monday, we're going to set the tone for your week with Melanin Millionaire Mondays, where our entire community is going to meet up. The energy is going to be high. We're going to set the intention for what we're going to execute on so we can move the needle forward, and Carter and I and the rest of our team can keep you accountable.
So that's enough information. You see the rest in the club. All you got to do, click the link below, sign up, and start your journey to your first millionaire year. Let's get it, man.
Let's go.
Yes.
Right. And so that's the thing we don't want y'all to skip over. Like people like think passive income is like the thing, or I'm gonna create a digital product and but create something one time and make money on it forever. That shit, it sounds good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Even it's, I love digital products. Yeah. Everybody knows I love digital products. It's one of my favorite avenues of my business, right? It's like selling your information. Right. But people think that the digital product business is passive. It's not. It is not passive. Okay? Like, first of all, you have to have a brand to even sell anything, because if people don't know who you are, they don't know you, they can't flow you. Right. So if you don't have a brand, that takes work to build the brand. Then when you sell the product, there's still fulfillment. Right. It might be it should be automated fulfillment.
Right. But people are people. But human errors, put wrong email, you know what I'm saying?
Now you got to deal with that. Then you got customer service. If they get the product or they didn't get it, you got to have somebody respond to them, check their spam folder. If they got it but didn't like it, if they got it but they having password issues, like it is still an active business and you have to hire for that. So like we just need to approach it with the active mindset and then use systems, delegation, automation, and systemization to turn something that's passive, something that's active into a passive business. But even that within itself is still work.
Right. It's not necessarily 100% passive. It's just varying degrees of active, right? So it's like on a scale from I got 10 meetings on my calendar every day to I have to make sure my systems are dialed in, right? Maybe it's a 2 versus a 10, but it's not I don't have to do anything and I'm going to make money while I sleep.
Yeah.
Right. So we just want to make that distinction, but it's still good. It's just like approaching it with the right mindset so you can understand like what you're actually getting into, because y'all been hearing a lot of our episodes highlighting scamming, right? And sometimes it's not truly scamming. It's like you just didn't realize that, man, okay, there's more to this than I thought. Like I'm being called a scammer because someone emailed my non-existent customer service email and I didn't respond. And now people thinking that, oh, his product don't exist, right? And I always use this as an example. Like we hired an outside agency for user generated content for a period of time, went pretty well, but they didn't sunset like the relationship properly in terms of like letting other people know who were sending inbound requests. Like, hey, like any additional requests, if you have issues, email Melanin Money, not us anymore. And so people are like, is this brand really black owned? Because y'all said y'all wanted me to rep y'all stuff and now I can't hear from y'all. So you just have to have the system set up, right? And in that scenario, it wasn't our fault, but if you don't have it, people are gonna be quick to call you a scammer.
Yeah. And like, I love the thought of using the active income to park it into passive income activities. But like, I don't think that's the first thing that you should do with your money.
100%.
We talk about this all the time. Like the best investment you can make is an investment in you. Is to develop the skill set to have a super high active income.
Big facts.
Because then you were able to easily invest in passive income.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I think like I had a conversation with a friend. She hit me up like, I'm making really good money. I see what you're doing. She's like, how do I flip this money? And I really hate that question.
Yeah.
I really hate that question. Because it's not a flipping. It's like, how can you use your money to make more money? And she was like, should I invest in stocks? Should I invest in real estate? I'm making about $5,000 a month in my job. And I'm like, you should do neither.
Right.
I mean, you should invest in a skill set to take you from $5,000 a month
to $50,000
a month, right?
Or 10 or 15.
Yeah, but she couldn't she couldn't comprehend what I was saying. She's like, so no stocks, no real estate right now. I'm like, you can, but you'll be really taking a slow boat to China because you think like how many checks do you have to save to get a down payment for a real estate property? You get the long term rental, it's generating $1,000 in profit a month. That's an extra $12,000 a year. Is that really moving the needle? Where you can just invest in a skill set that can take you from 5 to 50, and now when you make it $50K a month, but your expenses are only 5, now you have $45,000 a month to park in the assets.
That's what we call cooking with grease, my friends. You know what I'm saying? So now 100%, and we know that these are non-traditional concepts, right? Because
they work. They work though.
They work, right? And it's not that they're non-traditional; it's just that you didn't have the exposure, more so, right? And so, but the thing is, it's like we really want y'all to grasp this, right? You are your first investment, right? We say this all the time. I break it down in a very simple way. Number one, you have to develop a high income skill set like we talked about. If you can't get you making you money right, nothing else is going to matter. That $5 a month, 10, again, it's cute, right? And my peers probably hate when I say this because it might sound discouraging on the outset, but I don't think you should be. If you can only invest a couple $100s a month, the first thing you need to figure out is how can I become more valuable so that I can invest more than a couple $100s a month, right? That's just my philosophy. And that's somebody who manages people's money. I get incentivized to tell people to invest, right? But that I wouldn't be a fiduciary if I told you to do that. And every client that I've ever told, I say, hey, look, there's no budget. There's nothing. You're not overspending. You're just not making enough. Every client that I've ever said that has respected the heck out of me, and it has transformed something in them, and now they're wildly successful because they just didn't know. Like, well, dang, you're right. Like, I thought I needed to cut the latte, I needed to do this, I needed to downsize. I'm not even a bad spender. I'm just not making enough, right? So that's the first thing. Get that right. Then, to Carter's point, even once you have your high income skill set, you don't want to become the bottleneck. So what do? You take the high income skill set and you turn it into a scalable business where people and systems make you money. That's the next phase. Right? Where you have systems, you have software, you have human capital that I can step away a little bit and this thing can still run. I'm still involved, but I can step away from it and the machine is running. And then we get fancy and we invest in high return assets. That's the order of operations. Could you invest before that? Of course you could. You can log into M1 TD Ameritrade today and invest $20 and buy an index. Sure. But we're telling you, not the truth, but our truth.
There you go. That's good. That's
our truth. What has worked well and served us well is becoming people of value to where if the internet shut down tomorrow, because we're a person of value, we can still consult and charge $25K for a half day or an hour, right? Like, and that's why it's so important because we understand that the markets can shift. Right. But if I know at any given time, I can raise my hand to get paid a big fee to speak or raise my hand to do more consulting because I got the value that can't be taken away from me. I'm cool if the passive income or the machine, something happens to it. But if you don't have this, you have nothing to fall back on.
Facts. And I think one time Alex Amorosi said, like, this is the scale. This is what he thinks people should do. Like, invest your money into high income skill set, right? And you take that money from high income skill set and invest it into more skills until one day you're gonna wake up, which is kind of where we're at, where the money's coming in faster than we can reinvest into high income skill set. Right. So like then you can start investing in other assets. Like right now, we're at a point where like I'm like I need to find some more masterminds to join, right? Because I just. The money's coming in fast, but I know what got me here, so I'm not going to stop doing that. Facts. You know what I'm saying? Facts. Then you can take that active money and turn it into truly passive money. Because now when we're looking for passive investments, they got to be really passive investments. Because I can put this money back in my business. I can be if you want me to work, I can put this money back in my business and I'll be straight. Yeah. So now, like if I'm investing in something that's passive, because I'm doing so well actively, I really get to look at the passive investment strategically and say how passive is it going to be?
I literally had a conversation with somebody today. Like literally, it was about like something in Dubai, and I was like, "That sounds great." I was like, "But can you give me some real time data on like, is this truly set it and forget it? Like, am I going to just wake up the checks, or on the scale from me waking up the checks to like having to put out a fire drill? Like, let me know, because it has to make sense. It has to be passive."
Okay. Yeah. So I think that we did this before one of our segments. We haven't done it in a minute.
Yeah.
Just like just a sad conversation on some stuff that's happening in the world. That's the people. That's crazy. Like, so I thought it'd be great. I did to bring up the NBA.
Okay.
The fellas in the NBA wilding, bro.
It's a lot going on. It's a lot.
My brothers in the NBA, they wilding. From Ja Morant can't keep a gun out of his hand for millions and millions and millions of dollars to Zion just wilding, bro. Like now we know what he ain't playing games. Yeah. That boy legs tired from the night before. Boy put on the show.
Oh God. Yeah, but not seriously. Like even though this is funny, this is a sidebar on the reality of just good decision making, right? And how it can impact your money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Ja Morant can't put the gun down and now has lost millions of dollars as a result of it, right? Which I think is a byproduct of personal development, which goes back to what we just said about investing in yourself and becoming a person of value. Because if you're a certain level, high caliber person, there's just certain things you're gonna know not to do. Now, granted, they're young. Well, Ja Morant's young. Zion's a little bit older. But bro, how you gonna mess up this bad? Like, what are we talking about? And Zion, bro, he got his hands full. bro, I don't know what he got.
My man's got his hands full, man, and that's the other thing, man. Like, you gotta keep the main thing, bro.
Keep the main thing.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't believe in the whole, shut up and dribble. Sometimes you gotta focus on at least focus on the basketball.
Please,
you know what I'm saying? Like, God, this is what brought you here, bro. You trying to everything to ruin it, man. Look, man.
It's almost like the moral hazard of money, right? It's like you get to a certain point financially where you just feel like you're indestructible. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ever seen like a rich kid, I haven't seen it, but I've heard of like a rich kid grabbing their friend's phone and throwing it out the window. Because they know at the end of the day, I can just Venmo you the $1,500. I'm not going to lose no sleep over, right?
Yeah.
But when you get to a certain level, I feel like people just really think that they're above consequence. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, bro, and you're black. A black man in America.
Yeah. Good luck.
You know what I'm saying? Nah, dog. So just think things through. Make better decisions, especially when money is on the line.
Yeah, and or your kids, the future. You know what I'm saying? Right. You got to deal with this problem for 18 years, bro. At least.
Wait, they had a kid?
She's pregnant, yeah.
Oh, no.
He had got one of the girls pregnant.
Yeah.
But then another girl, I think, came out of other allegations. He was trying to move one to a city, but he had another one pregnant. And then you're texting. You know what I'm saying? Bro, screenshots. You gotta be look, man, send a voice note. At least, come on, bro.
That ain't my voice. AI, that ain't my voice.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Send a VM, man. Right, yeah. And have that mug disappear after 30 seconds, man. But man, I just been watching NBA from afar and just these young brothers, what the old heads, man. KG need to go do a counseling session.
We're the OGs, bro. Yeah. They need something, man. Matter of fact, NBA, listen, if you're listening, you know what I'm saying? Bring us in, you know what I'm saying? On the front end.
So you get ahead of this train.
Right, because they got the active income figured out. Let's go ahead and get the passive income figured out. So if they mess up that NBA bag, right, we got them covered. So, but that is extremely interesting.
Yeah, man. So I just think that all in all, we're living in a generation where making money is abundant, and we need to, one, figure out what ways we want to make money, but also figure what ways that probably aren't in our best interest to make money. Because sometimes it's not about what can you do to make more, is what can you do less of to make more.
If you want to elevate, it's more about subtraction than it is about addition, right? And so it's what can you remove? What can you take away? What can you streamline? You gave me this quote a long time ago, but sometimes you got to give up a stream, right, in order to create a waterfall. And like I said, when we had our panel discussion a couple weeks ago, it's some people got this 7 streams of income thing so confused. You get one waterfall and then you go buy other streams of income. You don't hustle your way to 7, 8, 9 figures.
You create that one stream, you take the bucket of water, right? You know what I'm saying? Then you pour it over. Now you create another stream over here, but you got to have the waterfall in order to flow the other streams. But I think that we didn't know that, and people were like, 7 streams, I'm gonna do this Airbnb, and we see that so many times with starting up entrepreneurs.
Right,
they make a little money in their business. I want to do tour, I want to do Airbnb, I want to do this, I want to do that. It's now you're giving 10% to 10 different things instead of getting 100% to one,
and nothing's gonna be successful. And if you are gonna have multiple streams, make it within the same vertical. So that makes sense.
Skin the cat the right way.
Right, skin the cat the right way. So for example, let's use Airbnb as an example. Your waterfall is you actually are successful. God, I say that's the prerequisite, that you actually own an Airbnb, right? that you actually own some Airbnbs that are cash flowing. You're doing well. And because you're doing well, it's like, I could teach this. Right. And now you have a digital product, of course. That's stream number 2. Oh, I got people that are killing it. And as I grow, they want to grow. Now I have a high level mastermind. That makes sense. It's the same information. They're just, the only thing that's changing is the level of access.
But let's take that Airbnb. Let's see if we can create 7 streams out of one business.
Okay, let's do it right now.
Okay.
We want Airbnb?
Airbnb, we're right here.
Okay,
so
boom.
you make money from, and this will be good, y'all, because like I think most people are not maximizing their current business.
Right.
Maximize your current business first. You'll be
That's exactly
surprised
what we've
at
been
how many
talking about.
streams you can create at this one business. So Airbnb, you got the rentals.
That's one.
Right. And then if you come out with a course, obviously that's number 2. But think about this. What if you got a car to park at your Airbnb?
That's
Shout
true.
out to my dog, Shot at the Boat Goat.
Yep.
He has his Rolls Royce parked at his Airbnb. So people also who rent his Airbnb also they want to rent the car.
Okay.
So he's putting a business inside of a business. So
So what if you own the cleaning business?
what do you mean?
So what if you own the, because Airbnb, so
and
then you own the cleaning business.
then you can have,
shout out to the Heart Sogs,
Yeah.
right? So you own the cleaning business. So now that fee that's going towards cleaning is going back to your business that you own.
Yeah,
that's 4.
So now we have 4, and what you also could probably do. This affiliate inside of your Airbnb, you can charge local restaurants to be in your guide on where people should go. So like, hey, I won't charge you, but any referral that comes with this ticket. Okay, my Airbnb, give me $10 per person. So now I'm sourcing the 5 clubs, restaurants, tours, whatever. Y'all gonna be in my Airbnb handbook that gets rented out 20 days a month. So now I'm getting an affiliate bag of all the experiences that they're able to do at my Airbnb.
Then you own the property management company because you have multiple Airbnbs, right? So you own the property management company. That's another stream. Somebody else is doing the work, but you're getting a fee off of that. So
That's 6. Okay, one more. I think it's something we can do with furniture, bro.
Furniture.
Like
I think I got one.
I got it. Got it.
What you got?
Beat you to it. So there's a company called neighbor.com.
Okay.
You can.
I just heard about that like 2 weeks ago.
I told you about it.
Wait, okay, sure.
Yeah,
whatever.
I'll take credit for that. Neighbor.com. It's a company that your people in your neighborhood can pay you to
you did think about
store.
that.
Yeah, I know I did, bro.
Okay,
I ain't gonna lie on camera. I ain't gonna lie to y'all.
Okay.
Look, neighbor.com is a website that basically your neighbors can pay you for extra space. So instead of me paying a storage unit all
Right
the
in
way
the
across
garage.
town,
Yeah.
$100 a month,
Right.
$200 a month, I can pay my neighbor who's 4 doors down. Let me store my bike here. Let me store my equipment here. So now in the garage of the Airbnb, you can charge the neighbors in the area to store
extra stuff.
their stuff there.
Just like that, right?
7 streams of income out of one business, bro.
7 streams of income out of one business that makes sense, that's vertically integrated. Easy peasy. Right? So that's your homework assignment. Y'all know we like to be tactical. So if you currently are a current business owner, if instead of doing an uncorrelated side hustle, ask yourself, what can I do to maximize this existing stream? Right?
If that's not worth a like, a share, and a subscribe. If y'all watching on YouTube, comment something. We just gave y'all 7 streams of income in one business. And I know we can do this across multiple industries because
Big facts.
We do it for ourselves.
Big facts. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Melanin Money Show. Until next time.
Peace.
Peace.